morning, 3rd of April at Pico's farm. Roger Fuss delivers a planter to plant out a mixture of seeds for us, direct drilled into some pasture and lippia, just to see if we can get it to establish in the soil we've got at the moment. Thanks, Sarah, for joining us. Sarah is Sarah Fee from Bear Biologics, and Sarah has been instrumental in getting our seed mixed together for today's planting. So we are planting barley, oats, wheat, cereal rye, namoy vetch, dun pea, barometic, lucerne, kale, chicory and radish with a press wheel. So it means that we're able to get through the litter. We haven't grazed. We have going straight into lippia and summer growth. But in addition to that, one of the things is we are adding rock phosphorus and worm hit. The bags of seed that we're planting, on the left we've got the shallow seeds, and on the right we've got the deep planting seeds. And we've also got the Active Fert and Nutrisoil's seed conditioner, so to go in as well, which is diluted in water with the seeds. That's all part of what we're trying to plant here for a winter forage crop and direct drilling into pasture cropping. So this is our paddock on Pico's farm that we are going to plant today. We had about 7 mils on Tuesday night, and about 6 weeks ago we had, after about 3 or 4 weeks, we had 330 mils. So the subsoil moisture is still well. So we've mixed up the seed for the deep plant and the seed for the shallow plant, and I'll just head over to Roger and we'll get a chat from Roger about his machine.
The machine's a direct drill, 4 metres wide, a 333 mil row spacing, so it plants on 3 rows to the metre. The time breakout pressure is 400 pound, so I've got it set up with press wheels. We can put grain at depth down with the spear points, and we can also drop grain on the surface for the medics and grasses. So with the setup that we've done here today, we've got a range of products that are going deep and other products that are going shallow. So we're doing both at the same time.
Here we go. Here is the second lot of 2 hectares mix, the big seed but also the deep seed. We're going to plant this deep, and we've also added the Nutrisoils and Activert as well as a wet coating.
So we have vetch, lucerne, tillage radish, chicory and barometic.
And we're starting to plant the first 2 hectares. This is great, we've got our seeds, but how did we get to this point? Well, last year in 2019, Sarah came and did some soil tests, and we've done a normal biological soil test, plus we have done also a Haney soil test.
So we did do the soil test, but we also, just to add, that we did a plant tissue test also on the lippia to try and get an understanding of maybe what it was actually doing in the system.
Yes, that's great.
Nutrients it was actually high in content in as well. So drawing all that data together as well as what we were seeing.
And the actual result of the lippia was, it was actually quite good, wasn't it? Because it was actually helping make the soil keep functioning.
Yeah, so you could see some reasons why it was there in terms of from the soil test.
Yes.
And then what it was. So it was actually high in calcium, magnesium and sodium with the situation you've got happening down there with the tightness of the soil, going waterlogging.
Yes.
Classic
flood
why
plain.
Why you have lippia.
Yes.
The lippia, even though it's not what you're wanting to see, its function in the landscape is actually building things like calcium, which are helping with the aeration.
Yes.
To bring the conditions more conducive to
so things are changing.
That you want there.
Okay.
So yeah.
And it is a graze block. So we do planned holistic management grazing, and so it has been heavily grazed and then recovered, heavily grazed and recovered for the last 8 years on and off. So so that's been the management practice applied to that landscape. So interesting to see the lippias also enhancing the soil capacity or soil function to a degree at least.
It is keeping that soil functioning and living.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so it's so much better than
Bare soil.
bare dirt.
Yeah,
You've
absolutely.
got great
Yeah, sure.
ground cover, and it was functioning, and that did show up. Really in the soil test. Yeah, so you're meaning the difference between a normal ag soil test that we get from EAL, and then the Haney. Fairly early days to have the Haney soil test in Australia, because the other mainstream soil test very much about what have we got there available now and long term. Haney soil test is different in the sense that it's actually trying to simulate more what's going on biologically and how can we assess that. So actually getting to know more about the health of the system, the functionality.
Yeah.
So one thing,
what's actually being what is actually available for consumption.
Yeah, so some of the extracts are more closely aligned to the type of things that would be released by plants. One thing to know, have you got carbon there, but this Haney test gives us an understanding of available carbon that's actually going to be utilised by, are we feeding the microbes enough? Because microbes will they'll eat first. So it's a health check.
Yeah, that's right, a health check of you. Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, really, really useful.
With your scenario, very much about being regenerative and keeping in with Mother Nature. So we're trying to kickstart the processes, make sure that we're getting Mother Nature working.
Yeah.
The cereals, they've got great fibrous roots, quite exploratory. Oats itself is known for activating calcium and manganese and phosphorus. Wonderful at having a very good mycorrhizal relationship. And barley and wheat that we're going to grow there. So we're trying to get a reasonable amount of organic matter into the system and in different height structures. So part of what we're trying to do here is not only what's happening underground, and the root systems will explore in different ways, and therefore, but we're also trying to build the canopy from lower to higher. So working on the nitrogen cycle.
Yes.
Again, they have a taproot, so different root structure. Chicory.
Yeah.
Another one great addition to from a grazing perspective for the animals, but also wonderful big deep taproot.
Yeah, right.
And often when you pull them up, you really have this wonderful influences the health of the soil. It just can smell so wonderful. Kale and radishes are both brassicas, so they are non-mycorrhizal. So they have extra dates that they're actually releasing that mean that they can access some of the nutrients like phosphorus through a different mechanism. So again, it's a diversity and mechanism of making phosphorus available, and so other plants around them will hitchhike and be able to get some of that available phosphorus, but also as they decompose, that'll be an organic phosphorus. It's very clear from soil testing and from looking at the system that we're needing to lift your fungal relationships in the paddock.
Yep.
We're needing to get more fungal, not as bacterial.
Yep.
So that's why, I kept their proportion down and not too high. We're going with a system here to awaken nature, basically. We're really trying to be
exercise
in harmony.
the muscle.
Yeah. You've got, the toolbox, we know what we need is in there. There's some constraints around tightness with calcium and magnesium, but things like lifting fungal communities is actually, that's the highway for calcium. So that's,
it's a highway for oxygenation.
Yeah, so it's a key component in terms of, doing whatever we can to help the biological community work for us.
Encouraging them to lift some weight, not just, helping lift it for them.
Yeah, so. and having the communication not hindered in any way.
Yes.
So the seeds and the biology can have the communication, and so we can maximise that opportunity that you'll have plants that are accessing through the way nature intended.
Yes, that's
You know, a
excellent.
bit of us stepping out of the way.
Yeah.
So this paddock is we normally graze it, and it probably had its last serious graze in end of 2018-19 beginning of 19 because we destocked in February 2019 due to the dry, and we've only just received put animals back on the property in the last month or two. So and this has not been grazed yet. So we've had of course last year was very dry. Anyway, in February, March, we had 330 millimetres over the whole place. And that has obviously given us an enormous amount of body of feed. We've got a great diversity of grasses, but this particular area has also got some lippia, which is the condamine couch. And so it was a perfect opportunity for us to do a trial we were hoping to do last year, but with no rainfall, we decided not to plant. And we already had the seed, which was made up of the mix by Sarah Fee at Bear Biologics, and as a result of both a biological soil test and a Haney soil test. And the seeds were matched to what our soil needed to really fire up. We did 4 hectares, and the first 2 hectares we planted all the seeds, obviously. However, we didn't put the seed coating on, the Active Start and Nutrisoil seed coating. We decided to see whether or not there would be a difference in the germination or the speed in which the seeds propagate. And we also planted the pea shallow, just to see what that does and whether or not it works. And then also the other 2 hectares, the last 2 hectares, we planted the pea deep and as well as all the cereals. And then we also put the Active Start and Nutrisoil seed coating on. It was planted on the 3rd of April. We did receive 7 or 8 mils on the 31st of March, and then beautifully followed up after the 3rd of April. On the 4th of April, we actually had 26 millimetres on the farm. So it was actually perfect timing after the planting. And now Thursday, just before Easter, we are now seeing shoots and germination occurring with long roots and great nodules on the roots as well. So we're just waiting to see what happens and looking forward to keeping everyone posted in regards to the progress of this trial, which has gone directly into ungrazed lippia and summer grasses without any treatment whatsoever.